Hi, it's Veronica with Treetop Secret. Thanks so much for joining my email list. I am going to be sending you some tips, tools, resources over the next few days and weeks, all related to the new math TEKS and STAAR. So the first thing that I sent you was the 18 Math Problem Solving Tools cheat sheet. So hopefully you've had a chance to download that. And here it is right here. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about are the 3 tools. I'm going to focus in on 3 tools because I did receive some emails. Thank you all so much for sending emails my way at vlopez@treetopsecret.com. And I want to address those 3 things. The rest of the items here are pretty self-explanatory except for asking one-step or multi-step problems. I am going to have to do a separate video for this one because there is a strategy that I'd like to present to you, and it's going to require more time, and I'm trying to keep the videos as short as possible. So in this video, I'm going to talk about making it personal, jumping in the question, and drawing. The only other one that I really want to talk to you about here is magnify keywords, and only just to issue a word of caution. And that is a lot of times we tell the students to look out for words like each and total, and that sends them in a direction so that they can solve the problem. Well, that's becoming problematic because there are more and more multi-step problems which require multiple operations. It's like what I tell the kids, you know, the patient needs more than one operation. He needs a heart transplant and a brain transplant. So it isn't just if you see the word each that you're going to divide. You're going to have to look at that question and figure out, you know, if you need to multiply, divide, and maybe even add or subtract. So that's just one note of caution that I wanted to issue here when it comes to this. The other idea is just, you know, when you're looking at keywords, you know, you want them to focus in on, you know, the math vocabulary that you're studying and you've been studying in class. So when you're asking them, does my answer make sense? Or they're asking themselves, does the answer make sense? That one's pretty self-explanatory. When they're stuck, they need to try all the operations. They need to check their work. And all of these here, they're, again, pretty self-explanatory. But if you do have a question, send an email my way and I'll help you out. And act out, talk it out, and use objects to make a model. Those are all things that you're hopefully encouraging them to do and providing them with time to do in class. So go ahead and download the cheat sheet, copy, share, teach, and preach. And so for this video, I'm focusing in on personalize and jump in the question. Super easy strategies, and it makes a world of difference when you're turning a question from boring into something that makes it more realistic, more real life context, something that they can relate to. So in this question, for example, Sam drove with his family to his grandparents' house. I am like telling the students, who cares about what Sam's doing? I'm not interested in Sam. I don't even know who Sam is. So you change that, and maybe you have a Ben in your class, and so you say, Ben, I want to know what Ben's doing. And Ben, he's driving his family to his, you know, whoever it happens to be, to his cousin's house, to his BFF's house, whatever it happens to be. So you're trying to personalize the question. If there's a city, a state, a street, anything like that, they would personalize that. If there's a name of a pet in there, anything that allows a student to personalize is going to help him to then jump into the question, and the question is definitely more appealing. They're able to activate some prior knowledge there. The context becomes more relatable. And so when you're teaching the students how to use these particular tools, problem-solving tools, you want to make sure that you make them as exciting as possible. And every single day that you're working through problems, you want them to be personalized and jumping in the question. It just makes it more interesting, and it also makes the context one that they can relate to. All right, we're going to go into draw, and the resistance that you're going to get with draw is you're going to have students that tell you, I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to draw. You got to move them away from that, and the way you're going to do that is by giving them practice. And in the PDF that I'm attaching to this email, I am providing you with the some graphics that you can print and provide your students with a copy so that they can practice at home, they can practice in class. If you have centers and you're using centers, you can add those to your centers. You want to use and have your students doing the drawing practice at the start of the day, at the end of the day, anytime you have a moment, a transitional period, you want your students to be able to access those. So make a class set, laminate them, have them in a prominent place, have some white paper, scratch paper nearby, and have them be doodling and practicing with drawing. They at first don't realize, and you might be a little resistant to do this, but I promise you, this is tapping into visualization. And when they're looking at a problem and they're stuck with it, and they have the ability to draw something, as opposed to being on the other end of the spectrum where they don't even consider drawing because they have in their head, I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to draw. They have the ability to draw stick figures. They have the ability to be able to pull some of the things from the question and just put it on paper, and that's going to help them to visualize. It's going to just push them along as opposed to just being stuck. So like, for example, these little stick drawings here, I mean, they're so easy to do, and you just have to get the students to a point where they're comfortable with doing these kinds of things. Now, I do want to say, if you are very talented, don't intimidate your kids by showing off. Come on, you got to show a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for here? You have to just hold back and don't show off. Do stick figures, do whatever you have to make them feel less, or so that they're not intimidated, so they feel a little bit more willing to try. And it's going to take time. And so definitely, here are some of the icons. I've provided 4 different sheets for you to be able to use with your kids. Make copies, send them home, tell them this is your homework. I want you to do 10 of these icons, and you're going to turn that in as soon as you come in tomorrow and rave about what they give you. And some kids do go all out. And, it's a fun thing for them to do. It's really getting to a point, and they might not necessarily see where you're going, but you know where they're going. They're going to go to a point where they're able to visualize and pull and use this tool when they are working with problems on their classwork, on their benchmarks, on the STAAR test. So here are the pages. There's a bunch of them in here that I've included for you. And that pretty much sums up draw. And so that's it for the video, because I don't want, as I mentioned, I don't want to take too much time in the videos. If you have any questions, please contact me over at vlopez@treetopsecret.com. And when you sign, please use your first or your full name, and put your grade level there. Now, feel free to share your school, district, your district, or your city. That would be great if you want to. You don't have to. I'd like to share some of the names, some of the information or questions that I'm getting from you all, because it just helps people see that they're not alone, and it really does help everyone out. Thank you so much for sharing with your colleagues and your teacher buds. I appreciate it. I know I've heard from a few of you that you were referred to me by so-and-so or whoever it is. So thank you so much for doing that. And that's it for this video. Catch me. The next video I'm planning on doing is on math charts, because that's something that is so easy to do, and I want to make sure that I touch on that, because it's a key thing. That's, the math chart comes within the STAAR test, so the kids really need to know how to use that to its fullest advantage. All right, thanks so much. Catch you in the next video. Bye.